Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Okay, so I better read, okay? Yes, this is our last session. Yes, so this morning we went through the teaching in relation to the five powers for lifetime. So now the five powers to apply as a method to transfer, our consciousness to higher realms, or even can cause enlightenment. If not, at least to Pure Land, precious human rebirth. So it's very much like, beside all the other practices, the power practice or any method that help to transfer consciousness is very much like insurance. You buy insurance for higher rebirth, if in case didn't manage to enlighten, before even death comes in our way, or even at the time of passing away, didn't manage to accumulate all the resources for taking clear light onto the path, then the taking like complete refuge in the five power, so we'll make sure that we secure our next rebirth in the higher realms. So it says like this: as a Mahayana's transference method is five powers alone, their practice is vital. Thus, when he or she who has trained his mind thoroughly his entire life, contract a fatal illness and become aware of his imminent death, he must apply this very mind training teaching as a time of death instruction and effect the transition while engaged in such practice. Practices such as a tantra cannot be practiced at this juncture. He or she should go through the transition by means of the five powers alone. So this here, even if you are deity yoga practitioner, tantric practitioner, even if you are practicing high Sugya Tantra, generation and completion stage of practice, but if you are not confident, mature in the deity yoga practice, then it is safer to use this technique. The technique of using the five power from the Mahayanic practice, very much there's no way to go wrong. As far as concerned tantric practice, let's say, try to do the deity yoga, the self-generation, if the preparatory is not intact, there's even danger of, placing trust on the false mind, false identified the self-deity. If there's no proper foundations of wisdom of emptiness, then if you just regard yourself as a deity, there's a danger. There's a very fine line, may slip away. Then that can occur, flaws. Then even you do deity yoga practice, but if there's no proper bodhicitta, then even though you manage to activate channels and chakras, but then didn't really manage to take the consciousness onto the path, then there's also dangers can occur. The force of the mantra power, yet lacking of bodhicitta, then sometimes there are possibility of being born in the very wrathful spirits. There are such flows also possible. So that's why to practitioner of tantra, our most important is the preliminary, the common preliminary, uncommon preliminary, called mondros. So sometimes you see many kind of like jump queue. How to say? Queue jump.
Queue jumpers. Queue jumpers.
Or queue jumpers. Yeah. So sometimes not necessarily that can be the quick path. So following the what do you call, the practice of the past masters, which is gradual training. All the past great masters like Lama Tsongkhapa, including of like Marpa, Mila, the greatest Sakyapas, even like Guru Pema Sambhava, like Dakinis like Ishe Tsokyal, all these great lineage holders, they train gradual development, not directly like kind of take the initiation and then after that then without foundations of three aspects of the path, then even though you achieve some kind of mantra power, because the mantra itself has so much power, even can become a great healer, but then when comes to a critical time, then because of lacking of the foundation, then those power can turn into a demon, So therefore, in comparison to that, then the five power, the power in relation to the altruistic path is understood is the safest. So then, like what he says, if you are practicing that, then no need to kind of look for other kind of solutions. Just settle here, just settle, very much, settle in the bodhicitta. That is good enough. The statement is so strong that he say alone. This five power alone means don't even think about using other techniques. So it says, first undertake the practice of the power of positive seed. So there are little from the five power, the lifetime, and the five power at the time of dying, the sequence, there's a little change. So now here, now first is the power of positive seed. Remember that power for the lifetime is intention. So now it's positive seed, So you see, if one realizes that okay, my time is coming, then instead of just having the motivation or to conduct practices, rather utilize the resources to create merit. Use the resources. And examples are given like this. Let's say possessions. You may have accumulated possession throughout the life. Then let's say money. Then divide into three portions. One portion immediately, decide to use for creating merit by making offerings like puja offerings. Let the sanghas, gurus and sanghas, for them to perform meritorious deeds using your material collections in the life. Then certain portion make charity to the needy ones. Dedicate while you are alive. Dedicate for some meaningful purposes, maybe education, health. Especially to the less privileged people, suffering beings. So then one portion you keep for the expenses, medical expenses, final rites. Then one portion keep for a gift, as a gift, as appreciation for those who would take care of your final rites when you are sick, during the death process. It's kind of like a will. Normally people, leave a will, isn't it? So in the will, that portion is like clear after I'm gone, like that, So give to the family members or whatever. So leave nothing to be kind of concerned, attached in relation to that, And some more, through these dedications, already, accumulate so much of positive seed. That itself become a great benefit, you see. So that's why sometimes if we don't know how to do that, then a whole life collected materials, possessions, there are many dangers that it become a cause of even creations of more negative karma in the name of you by others. Let's say children's family members. There are so many people after someone pass away and fight for your wealth. So it's almost like whole life you accumulate the wealth to create more negative karma, even share the negative karma with all the family members, the loved ones. Many have done mistakes. You see, so so therefore, after pass away, then there's a great benefit in one way if sincerely out there, people are making prayers for you, family members are conducting virtuous deeds in the name of you. It's beneficial, very beneficial. But the most beneficial is do something when we are still alive. You see, I have one auntie, an elderly auntie. So she long time ago, I think it's more than 15 over years, maybe 20 years now, maybe. She's still alive, and she, small offerings that families give to her. She's a nun, so whatever she have, she asked to build one prayer wheel in family house, and when she give quite a big project, even though her money is so little. Whatever she has, she give everything, but it's very little. That's what she have. But her vision is like quite a big, so it costs maybe maybe 90 times more. So build a prayer wheel. That's quite big. So then but when she said this to me, she says that if I die, don't do anything. No need to do anything. So this is what I have, and do this now, and also create an environment that the others can create a merit. So say this is like my birth sign. Is very much usually in Tibetan Buddhist culture, when someone pass away, you build statues or paint tangas. Sometimes you can check some kind of astrology or your meditation deity, so you actualize that and put that in the family house or donate to the monasteries, and people create merit in relation to that, and that understood that it is a sign of your rebirth in a higher realm. So she said, this is my it's keta, the birth sign, like that. So it's very wise, you see. But maybe because of the merit, she give everything away, and now she lives so 20, 30 years more. But then she have enough, everything more than enough. Maybe sometimes that create the condition. Maybe And sometimes we fear, how come if I do like that, then if I live long, then who will take care of me? But if you sincerely, really mean for Dharma, in a Dharma language, the Bodhicitta way of language, then maybe merit is the one that I think make sure that you're taken care of. But don't anyhow do. You have to be very. Either your bodhicitta is sure, or either you are sure that my time is only 3 days left. Otherwise, I get into trouble. Oh, Geshe-la, now I want to claim from you. Just joking. Okay. Let's say so. Power seat. To do this, you offer your belongings to the teachers and the 3 jewels as a gift of the disease. It is inappropriate to give these belongings to being who might be your object of clinging. Prepare so that even in your aftermath, your possessions do not become condition for accumulating negative karma. Just said like that. No? Make excellent offering to those worthy of veneration. It is not appropriate to offer only tokens of your belonging. This one I think to those who are embodiment of kindness. Anyway, it won't contradict what I said before. There's an instruction, say divide into 3 portions and like that. Here sounds like everything you have to offer. And then, without any attachment to your possessions of this life, generate the fearless attitude with regards to your future life. So then the power of aspirational prayer is as follows. So after done that, then now you make wishes, you make dedications, and aspirational prayers. Lay out an excellent array of offerings in the presence of the 3 jewels. If you can manage, you do yourself. If not, you can, request someone to help to do that. Nowadays, not everybody will have that kind of conducive environment. Most of the time, when time comes, it's most of the time in the hospital, isn't it? So, even it is in the hospital, if you are still aware, then ask to have some kind of guru's picture or Buddha's picture that that where you can see directly. If you can create a small altar, that would be great. If can. If not, even that nothing there's not allowed to put there, then at least statues or pictures or texts or stupas or relics or something that you is precious for your Dharma practice, then put around your pillar and around your head. Then you can also tell the nurse or family members, if in case whenever the breathing stops, then first thing, place this object onto my crowd. Like that. If there's a conducive environment at home, then ask to arrange as much as holy objects and offerings as possible. Then request forbearances for your shortcomings and declare and purify your negative karma. And then, aware, not aware, whatever negativities they may be, broken commitment, broken samayas, everything that you want to let go, you want to purify. So you do, if you manage to do some purification practice like Four Opinion Power, wonderful, Vajrasattva practice, wonderful. But otherwise, sincerely, wholeheartedly, that if my time is ripened even to purify this most clean physical aggregates, now why not? Why not that I can't let go? Why not I can't let go all these hallucinationally accumulated negative imprints, the imprint, negative karma, that which is hallucinational mind, the conceptual mind kind of like hold on to as if there's a substantially is there, it's very much of our misconception. So he said, why not? I can't let go of that. I should let go of that because I'm ready to, because I'm accepting that, my time has arrived. I'm ready to even let go of the body. So why not that, Then review as well the pledge you have taken, such as that of going for refuge, you refresh your refuge, then make offerings to the three jewels, offer torma to the Dharma protectors, so if you can, you do yourself. If not, you can engage the family members or sanghas, who know how to do. If you are tantric practitioner, let's say high school tantric practitioner, then engage people to do self-initiation. That's one of our most effective practice. So if you are a practitioner of Mother Tantra, like Heruka, Vajrayogini, then request, whether can be lay practitioner or if there's a Sangha, that would be wonderful. But there's someone who have initiation, who have done the retreat, then ask them to perform self-initiation for you. If it's whatever deity is, Father Tantra, Yamantaka, Kalachakra, Goya Samaja, can be anything. And it is understood, it's so beneficial to perform Yamantaka self-initiation and Vajrayogini self-initiation. There's a reason for that compared to any other practices. Yamantaka, because Yamantaka is the direct antidote to a lot of the Yama, the death. Yamantaka, the definitive meaning of Yamantaka is the direct, was a wisdom of emptiness to the ignorant. So by doing so, it helps us to manage to utilize clear light onto the path. The biggest obstacle to utilize clear light onto the path is ignorant. So then it also helps us not to overpowered by the lot of death, which is very much talking about the karma. Not to overpower by the karma. You have certain kind of like authority, certain control in the virtuous practice. You see. So then Vajrayogini is one of the what you call the most effective in granting in the simplest way of enlightenment or pure realm is most effective direct antidote to the desire, because the desire is one of the worst obstacles that can come in our way when we are dying, when we pass away during intermediate state. The main problem is the desire, attachment to our form, attachment to our family, attachment to our life, unable to let go. So performing Vajrayogini self-initiation, and even in case you don't have the practice, but someone have the practice and they perform for you the Vajrayogini self-initiation, Yamantaka self-initiation, can be so powerful. And some more, if you have the practice, then that will be the most beneficial, most powerful, And if you can perform that daily, that will be wonderful. If not, at least every 7 days, or at least for 49 days, like that. Then anybody can do these eight great prayers. Like in particularly, there's a prayers called King of Prayers. There's Samadhi aspiration, Samadhi aspiration here, right? This is a second opponent power, you see. Then there's many powerful mantras. So you can find in the APMD text the 10 powerful mantras for the death or dying, 10 powerful mantras for the dying, then 10 great prayers for the death. So it is so easy to get it now. You can get it a PDF file and you put in you can help this for others. You can do for, you can even direct for others to do when our time. One day, after 100 years later or 50 years later, one day will come in our way. So like that. Then bless me so that, then there is also a very powerful mantra. The Namgyalma mantra is, you see up there in the center. This is Namgyalma mantra, I think. The white one, white mandala right in the center. It has a power just by going underneath. The benefits are unimmeasurable benefits. The purification that we obtained. So. The Namgyalma mantra, whether it's written on the paper or written on the cloth, if possible the long mantra, if not even the short mantra, then placing onto the body, if can. If not, or usually like after when you can do that even before passing away. But then if pass away, then there's a ritual. Most of the religious tradition or anyone maybe. They wash the body. So after finish, then after that, you place that, if possible, directly to the body, and mainly you place above the navel area, like that, But then, if that is not convenient, then you can place onto people. Some people, they bury in the coffin, they whatever, or some they wrap with the clothes. So along the interlining of the cloth, you place the mantra, then you can wrap, you can help people like that. So now, under Kyabja Lama Sopa Rinpoche's instruction, so they make the Namgyalma cloth. So Rinpoche, with so much of, compassion, even asked to design that is just nice for the little cat, it pass away, little animals, they pass away. So there's so many sizes like that, big. So you just, I think, saffron kind of color, is because when someone passes away, you cover with some cloth, and it managed to cover with that cloth is like just that alone, it brings so much of positivity, Then the one mantra that anybody can help to recite, Om Mani Padme Hum, So that can serve as an antidote to not to fall into the 6 realms, like that. So bless me so that intermediate state and the next life I will remember the true awakening mind and engage in their practice. Help me to encounter sublime teacher who revealed this teaching. Lead me to the beginning of my path of happiness. Today I place my hope in you. Then invoke the following aspiration again and again. May I train in the true awakening mind during the intermediate state. May I train in the true awakening mind throughout all my lives. May I meet sublime teachers who reveal these teachings. So, every of the practices, you can do with the introductions of this aspirational prayer. Or just simply make this aspirational prayer in your heart, then try to kind of, calm yourself, like that, Then the third power, the power of eradication is as follow, the purification, that which grabs at self and I has made me suffer since beginning of time. This has also brought about my present suffering. So long as I am not divorced from this, no happiness can arise. How have I allowed it to ruin me? So this ruined me, so like this. So this happened because I have assumed corporal body. I have assumed a corporal body. So I shall definitely not assume a corporal body in the intermediate state. I shall allow my mind to fade into space. Reflect in this manner and repeatedly eradicate self-grasping. So the purification here do in relation to the purifying into emptiness. Then fourth, next is the power of propelling intention. So now is the intention here. So after you have done aspirational purification, aspirational prayer, you have accumulated, some intense virtuous deeds. Then the fourth one is, in the past I have enhanced the true awakening mind so that their continuity did not cease. So I shall now recall the true awakening mind in the intermediate state and engage in their training. Reflect along this line and repeatedly recall the true mind. So rejoice that you have practiced in the past lifetime. You managed to practice true awakening mind this lifetime. Because of your practice lifetime, therefore now you have mindfulness to remember this true awakening mind. So now you specifically motivate to make sure that you remember in the intermediate state, and then you're able to remember bodhicitta from all the future lifetimes. So then, fifth power, as for the power of acquaintance, so that's the last. The key is to first train uninterruptedly in the awakening mind. Then, as you approach the moment of death, lie down on your left and placing your right hand on your cheek, block the right nostril with your little finger, and breathe through the left nostril. So this is transferring in the terms of your conduct. So even the conduct is so beneficial if you manage to do that, So you use like this, put your left finger in your left nose like that, then lie down the side like this, not upside down like that. Then put your left hand on top of the body, shoulder, like that. So then breathe. So even so that time you can, to make yourself feel comfortable in understanding that this conduct itself has a great benefit to secure virtue in your continuum, remembering of Buddha too passed away like that, So
does it say here in the line that says lie down on your left? I thought you said lie down on your right.
Like that?
It says here, at the moment of death, lie down on your left. And put your right hand, that would be on top.
No. Really? It says like that? Okay. 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 Placing your right hand, this right hand, on your cheek, like that,
The line above that. The line above that, where it says lie down on your left.
Lie on your left. That mistake? Okay, lie on your left. Okay. Yeah, possible. Lie down on your left means like that, isn't it? So it's a mistake. Okay. Okay, thank you. As you approach the moment of death, lie down on your left. Okay. Yeah. So there's one word, talking about place your hand. So maybe maybe something went wrong there. So when you lie down, so then this hand, of course it's left hand, something. But anyway, it's wrong here. Okay, we take it wrong. No need to stuck here. Okay. Yes. Okay, I make note here then. Thank you. So this is the transferring in the terms of your conduct. Or then preceded by loving kindness, train in the dual practice of giving and taking on the basis of your in and out breath. So you can adopt the Tonglen practice. While in this state, engage in the practice of ultimate awakening mind. Thus contemplating everything that shares the nature of samsara and nirvana has its root in the deluded mind. As for the mind, it never divides from its primordial nature of Dharmakaya, so the clear light mind. Reflect how, in reality, even what is called death has no existence. Combine these two, contemplation, engage in their practice, and die while in the mind state. Okay. So if this is unlikely to be feasible, then arose the true nature of the samsara and nirvana that is free of rejection and affirmation within the expanse of the ever-present innate Dharmakaya, which is the uncontrite mind itself. So release your mind restfully in the ultimate expanse and place it upon the mind's ultimate nature, which is devoid of transparency. Then, even if you are unable to die in tune with the meditative state, because of temporarily losing your mindfulness, you will still die with the instruction appropriate for the moment of death. So whether you manage to really able to do with the full kind of quality of meditation or not, but just guiding yourself in this way, still can be so beneficial, So earlier, I think also talking about the Tantra, in relation to Tantric practice, the individual practitioner meditate during this process, the death process, the meditation on the death process, the dissolutions, taking the natural dissolution onto the path, and that can be quite complex to manage to the dying person's mind if you are not. If you don't have the high qualities of concentration, because the natural appearance of the hallucinational experiences in relation to the dissolution is so intense. So therefore, recommend the Mayani, the transparent consciousness is much more easier and safer. And especially majority of our time in the path, training on the path, we train more in this. So that also makes easier. Although numerous celebrates moment of death instruction exists, the master says nothing is more amazing than this instruction presented here. With this, the complete aspect of the path have been presented without omission. Okay.
Krishna,
Yes, please.
I have a question about when we are accompanying someone in the deathbed, so to speak, and this person hasn't been exposed to Dharma or is from another tradition. Is it still respectful and ethical to do our prayers under this tradition, even if maybe the person prefer that a priest is there or any other person that might be more in tune with what they believe?
Yeah, so if the dying person prefers other than the Buddhist kind of rituals, Buddhist kind of prayers, and we should follow the requests accordingly, and we can dedicate our practice from our heart. No need to perform any rituals externally. So I think we as a Buddhist, we have to be most understandable in that. So we cannot be rigid. The most important thing is actually not the outer ritual, it's the inner dedications of your own practice. You can do quietly, you can do in other times, like that.
Right, because we still can be helping this person in the state of Bardo, but the person might be receiving our praise but not necessarily knowing or need to engage with it other than what they believe in, correct?
The last one, what did you say?
Because from what I understand from these prayers, we might be helping the person to go through a state of Bardo, even if they are very familiar with all these states. So it's not about us avoiding to do it, but doing it in a very private manner, respecting what they choose on the first place.
Yes. For the subtle consciousness to the subtle body, then it doesn't really bring impact in the form of the spiritual dedication, as long as it's something is purely dedicated for the benefit of the diseased person, and also the nature of the ritual or the practice is virtue. Then even the person didn't want Buddhist dedication, and if you still dedicate, the person will receive the benefit. It doesn't contradict. The contradiction comes to our conceptual mind, ordinary mind, not the subtle. But if any ritual, even could be religious ritual, but if it's by nature is negative, then even its ritual, it will harm. Even it is according with their own traditions, whatever, it is harmful. Let's say there are some rituals like animal sacrifices, and there's certain ritual is like you need to sacrifice, baby pig to get roasted. So then they say this is person going to be very happy. So it doesn't, and this is belief, their own tradition, spiritual tradition belief, but that's anyway not going to help the diseased person, isn't it? Yeah. Whenever you want to say something?
I'm sorry, which one?
No, you want to say something? No. I say okay. I thought you want to say something. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then now is the fifth point. Presentations of the measure of having trained the mind. The fifth point. The measure of having trained the mind is presented by the following. Okay. So the intent of the old teaching coverage on the single point. So the scripture and the treatise were taught for the purpose of overcoming self-grasping. Thus, this is no target other than this for the trial of study, reflection, and working. When you are studying Dharma, self-grasping is getting lesser and lesser. Then your study is working. It's on the right track. Reflection also same thing. If you are doing meditation, if that's happening, then mind training is happening. The more you study, the more ego is. Then study went wrong. The more meditation you do, retreat you do, become more boastful, then went wrong. So that's how you measure. I think briefly said before, isn't it? The more you study, become more humble. The more you meditate, and less delusional it becomes. More peaceful you become. Okay, now I'm going to jump. Then, of the two witness, uphold the principal one. What it means is, So let's say how good practitioner you are, how well you practice the Dharma, how well you practicing the Lojong or Bodhicitta. The witness is not, there are two ways to witness that. One is the others comment. The others comment, say, "Oh, you're a great practitioner. You behave so well. Wow, wonderful. Last time I saw you, you were a bit wild, but now you look so calm. So wonderful. So that cannot be the reason to kind of validate that your practice, how to say, is really developed. Yeah, the conduct and the result, everything has to be not become the object of your own disapproval. So in other words, whatever practice you do is not, you yourself within your own self need to be, is the one need to be approved. I don't know how I say. Not by others, your own honest mind. By understanding the transformation that how much delusion that you have managed to purify, how much wisdom you managed to develop, how much attitude managed to accumulate. That is the one it's talking about. So of the two witness, uphold the principal one. Principal one is your own approval, defined by if you disapprove, then put aside. If you approve, then take it. But that also in accordance with the principle of the Dharma. Not anyhow. What you believe to be. You should be able to feel that even if you were to die this evening, you could have done nothing more. That much confident. For you have striven to the best of your capacity with faith, intelligence, and perseverance. That's you have put your very best. I have no regret, and I'm without doubt. It is beneficial for me. Something like that. Then after that, cultivate constantly the joyful mind alone. So what do you mean? This line suggests that having trained your mind and tested the flavor of the true Dharma practice, no matter what adverse circumstances befall you, you experience no disturbances within. For you immediately think, I can cultivate this remedy, the true awakening mind. Remaining unassailed in such a manner is also a measure of having trained your mind. So, any challenges comes in our way, don't feel lost. Yeah, as a practitioner of Lojong, practitioner of someone who met the Dharma, altruistic Dharma, then whenever obstacle comes, we cannot feel lost. Right there, you say, "Oh, I have the best tool, bodhicitta and emptiness. I will use this tool to manage my problem." And of course, if your teachers are around, your Dhamma Sangha members are around, if you want to kind of get more kind of assurance, you can talk to them, discuss with them, how to manage this situation with the tools of this teaching. If not, then until you encounter that kind of help, don't stay lost. You know, so you have to come up to that kind of realization. You know, immediately. The first thing you remember, I have a solution. Okay, so first thing, any trouble, emotional trouble, environmental trouble, you know, whatever obstacle that you have in life, struck in your life, don't feel lost. You know, yeah, so you have to come up to that kind of level. And if you manage to do that, that itself is a sign that you have you know, great deal of training of the mind happened. Yeah. So now we should check, you know, from our day-to-day life. You know, any unhappiness comes our way, you still stay blank, you stay scared, lost. So that means, you know, you have to find a way to deepen your practice. Means your training is not mature. You know, you see. So even up to Bodhisattva cannot avoid obstacle coming in their way. You know, no question about us. You know, how can we expect no emotional ups and downs? That's a natural thing. How can we expect we have no attachment? You know, in this human body, in the human mind, how can we expect that, you know, we have no anger, no jealousy, no laziness? You see, but then, how well practiced that you are in the Dharma is very much how quickly you manage to apply the antidote, how quickly you remember bodhicitta. That will define you. You are, you know, beginner, you are now mature practitioner, or even Bodhisattva, or even the first Bodhisattva, first Bhumi, second Bhumi, third Bhumi, you know, can define how quickly you intervene by the wisdom and attitude of altruism to our ordinary, you know, the natural occurrence of samsara. Right? So, so there you measure. You see? Yeah. So now you check yourself every day to day. Yesterday, when I get angry, it lasts, you know, let's say half a day. Only after getting a nice lunch, then start to, you know, remember bodhicitta, you know. You see? So now today, just before lunch, you know, just when you get the smell of the lunch, then only remember the bodhicitta. But then 3 days later, maybe around 9 o'clock, you know, you got angry maybe 7 o'clock, around 9 o'clock. It's about 2 hours away from lunch, isn't it? Much better. Then after day, then maybe just about 1 hour, then half an hour, then about 5 minutes, then 1 minute. Then just next moment, you know, anger came. Yeah, yeah, why not? I'm still ordinary person. You know, I'm not arhat yet. Yeah, so, but I'm a good practitioner because immediately bodhicitta or wisdom, you know, remembered the antidote. You see, so otherwise there won't be any sign like, you know, like the sign of your training, your development of the path with the light coming from your body start to, you know, grow some wings, you know, or yeah, like natural light at night coming out from your forehead. Even you call it, what you call? Some call very big, no hair, very shining. Also, for these people also won't have lights. So you cannot expect, you know. So it's kind of like able to a little bit like float on the sky, you know. Can jump a little bit far. So cannot determine like that, you know. You see, and sometimes it's kind of like hoping that you will have some kind of even clairvoyance. Not necessarily. Cannot expect that. If we start to expect that, then there's a danger of the superstitious may involve. Okay. Then after that, if this can be done even when distracted, you are trained. Just as a skilled horseman does not fall when distracted by the horse suddenly rearing up. In the same way, once your mind is trained, then even when unexpected adversities arises, such as unanticipated criticism and denigration, you instantly cope by applying appropriate antidotes. Remembering about karma, take as an object of seeing the person as a guru, generating compassion, etc. Immediately we remember. You see, and now we know. When we receive criticism, how fast those like heart of compassion remember, or seeing that person as a teacher. It's so hard, isn't it? So we have to train more. We have to be more habitual. So in this way, if adversities become a factor conducive to the awakening mind, and if you do not fall prey to the adverse condition, your mind is trained. So then, sixth point, presentations of the commitment of the mind training, which is page 118. So train constantly in the three general points. So what are three general points? Your mind training should not contradict your pledge, like refuge precepts, any Dharma precepts, lay precepts, individual liberation precepts, and most of all, the Bodhisattva precepts. Cannot contradict your human basic values. Your mind training should not become offensive. You see, it's kind of like I'm a mind training practitioner. You say, so I'm a mind training practitioner. So you should prostrate to me. You should serve me first. You should give me better seat. Then those are very offensive. So if a mind training practitioner, then one should be the last one. So sometimes it happens. I'm a tantric practitioner. Like kind of, you feel so offended if you lose your seat. So especially nowadays, it's a bit hard to experience. But whenever there's an event of His Holiness Dalai Lama's teaching, that's the very good testing ground. The sittings are so tight, and then you have to first block the sitting. Then next day when you go there, someone is sitting there, and you are actually there to receive teaching on bodhicitta. So it's like how to handle that, So it especially happens in Bodh Gaya, in that teaching ground. So sometimes you see. So anyway, yes. Then kind of like I have the tools of mind training, so I can get angry because I can antidote later, So I can scold you because sometimes it become like that, So I'm like, then sometimes Dharma teacher will say, I'm a teacher, so I can scold you, So this is very offensive, isn't it? And sometimes happens like that, So then the third one, your mind training should not be biased, you see. So this is also very danger. In a good time, then mind training is very happy. In a bad time, then mind training disappeared. Or for family members, a loved one, mind training works very well. But then strangers and enemies, then the mind training disappeared. So this is what he means, So if you are like always neutral, like the sameness to everyone, then you can regard, oh, my training is really good, Only you will know the contact of your mind, cannot really know from the outer show, from the speech and the physical action. Yeah. So then, page 119. Transform your attitude but remain as you are. So that this is again very important. While practicing the exchanging of self and others and reflecting on this yoga, not divorce from it for even a single instant in your thought or in your physical and verbal conduct, you must nonetheless maintain your conduct the way it was before, with no radical shift. This is, one of the main reasons is you show radical shift of your appearance. You gather obstacles. One of the reasons is that. Even let's say after meeting Dharma, so this is reality to many people. So most of your family members are not Buddhist practitioners. So you came to Nepal, India, and you went to Dharma teaching, you kind of transform yourself, you become Buddhist, or at least you start to practice Buddhist values. Then, you see, then when you go back home, even the dress, suddenly change, big changes, Then last time, they know you used to comb your hair, wash your hair, and now there's a great influence of yogic or yogini. Your hair become like hair wire, So that's what it means, because they say, I don't care, I'm renounced. So I don't need to shower, I can wear whatever I like, because I'm renounced, detachment, So then that's the way it can go wrong, instead of inspiring, people misunderstand, people find that, you're lost mind, So to a practitioner, someone start to talk, you're lost mind, then they create negative karma also, isn't it? So we also need to take care of them in that way. So you have to be very normal, Your heart change, outwardly just harmonize, and even the eating kind of habits, you see. So, and everything, sleeping patterns, you're so inspired. You say, all the yogic wake up 3 o'clock and ring the bell. You go back home, 3 o'clock you wake up, ding, 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 ding. Tomorrow you will be kicked out. So you become like inconvenient to the family and friends, So that's one thing. And also, you are a practitioner, and especially like tantric practitioner, you say like never be separated from the tantric implements, vajra, bell, etc. like that. So some they really so serious. So they really carry a big bell and dhammarus. So then they go everywhere, isn't it? So maybe like check into a hotel. Then next door early morning, because this I'm very serious about my commitment, doing 6 sessions Guru Yoga. So all this is not just talking about here, is you have to, in all area you have to remain harmony with the environment, you know. So that's what it's saying, you see. Then we'll say, yeah. So there are many examples. So it's how to say, in like just balancing, you know, these two. But heart, like I say, not even a second you separate from the practice. But outwardly, you know, you just try to adjust. Say, you know, otherwise attract obstacles. Then do not speak of defect of others. This state that you should never speak of others' defect, neither their worldly defects. For instance, by calling them the blind person, you know, nor their spiritual defect. For instance, by calling them the morally degenerated person. You see, for the practice of lojong, for bodhicitta, you know, you only see the Buddha nature. Even the worst person have no quality at all. It's the most destructive person in the world. Don't focus on that. You see, focus on even that. You know, one thing's for sure. One good quality for sure have everybody. That is the Buddha potential. You see, and then by recognition of that, you should help the most destructive person who is destroying the world, harming the world. Then you see their potential, also Buddha potential, and you help them, you know, generating compassion and dedicating merit for them to quickly, you know, awake from their delusions and ignorance. You see, in our normal world, if someone is doing misdeeds, everybody scold the person. That's almost like fueling, you know, on the fire already there. You're fueling kerosene inside, like that. You see. So actually, when someone is doing so bad, more than ever, everybody have to come together to generate compassion and dedicate merit for that person to quickly, you know, come out of that ignorance. You know, so that similar goes to in the family. If someone in the family misbehaves, do wrong thing, and then you scold, it gets worse. You point out all their mistakes. That's what we believe. If there's a mistake, you kind of quickly kind of fuel them by contributing negativities again. You know, so the best way is to really help is to generate compassion and dedicate merit for them to get out of that bondage. You know, so then after that, is do not reflect on the other's shortcoming. It is inappropriate to ruminate about the shortcoming of sentient being in general, and particularly of those who have entered the monastic order, especially your fellow practitioners. This is again utmost important, you know, especially for people who have a Bodhisattva vow, as having a refuge vow, then criticizing among followers of the Buddha. So that's huge inappropriate. Then worse than that, if you have Bodhisattva vow, enjoy the Bodhisattva vow as a same Sangha community, you know, have the same teacher, then criticizing each other, rumoring about each other. Even there may be some flaws, wrongdoings, but then rumoring about it, or whatever. It is a great transgression. Then among the tantric, you know, people who receive initiation from same guru, especially happen to receive in the same time, rumoring about